key messages. So first, I'd like to say that I'm working, in our company, I'm working, of course, with Gilles Lernoux, our Senior Vice President of Corporate Social Responsibility, but myself, I'm not directly reporting to him. I'm actually working in the operations. So you see, I'm not from the central corporate organization. I'm based in the operations, working with the affiliates. So that's also a way to ensure that our corporate social responsibility does not remain focused in Paris at the headquarters, but my job is to work with the countries, with the affiliates, to help them develop their own strategic approach and their own programs. Okay? So that's a way as well to embed CSR into the business. And here, there are some key messages. Is that we discussed about our primary area. Yes, we discussed a few minutes ago in the panel in having a philanthropic approach or trying to bring our skills, our expertise. This is the way we see it. Is that for us, the primary area where we can do and have an impact is in access to healthcare. Why? Because we have the skills, we have the capability to do it, and we have the resources to make a difference. If you tell us to educate children, we can help, but this is not where we have our skills. So we cannot make a difference here, okay? And, okay, this is actually how our CEO is defining our responsibility. So, primary objective is access to quality healthcare for all. We all know that more than 1/3 of the population does not access to healthcare. So we have 3 areas where we act. We are promoting a comprehensive disease management approach of the disease. We consider that products are not the only solution. Of course, drugs are part of the solution, but it is not enough. I'll come back on that. And of course, we have also a company foundation. This company foundation, as part of the French law, has to have activities that are very distinguished from our business. So they focus on areas that are not our key businesses' activities. So maternal and infant mortality, for example, or childhood cancer. And of course, we promote quality healthcare by fighting counterfeits. In India, we have more than 3,800 employees, and I'm sure that in this room, there are many people who do not know Sanofi. Who knows about Sanofi in India? Ah, some few hands. Well done. But actually, we are present here in India since the years 1956. So we are very old in this country. We are listed at the Bombay Stock Exchange. And we have 3 industrial sites. One site for the vaccines, which is in Hyderabad. Shanta is located there. And we do development in Goa. So we have one development center in Goa that is known far beyond India. And we are very proud of this site. They are doing a fantastic job. And not only for India, but for many other countries. Now, I'd like to show how we are developing our approach and our strategy in the countries. is that how we go from global to local, and how we define priorities in the country, at the country level. So if we look and if we think at the questions that are received by a CSR department in Paris, we have about 50 economic, social, and environmental topics that are linked to our business. So we received, you cannot believe it, but our corporate department received a lot of questions from the investors, from the notation agencies, and from the other stakeholders, okay? And so basically, out of these 50 topics, a company has to make priorities. So I showed you a few minutes ago that we have 4 areas and 12 priorities. We defined them in 2010, and they've been revised on a regular basis because, of course, the world is evolving, the company is evolving. And to do this, we do what we call a materiality test. This is a method that is recommended by the GRI, Global Reporting Initiative, by other high-level agencies. And what we call a materiality test is about defining CSR priorities, I mean important topics which are important for our business as well as for our stakeholders. And of course, when I'm speaking about the stakeholders, these are the shareholders, the communities, are the customers. I mean, in our case, these are the governments, the health authorities, the payers, the patients, the insurance companies, the hospitals, the doctors, all are our stakeholders. Without forgetting our employees, they are, of course. And we have the NGOs, we have the media, so it's very large. How do we do this? So here is the global materiality test. So some years ago, and we have done it again in 2013, to do this materiality test, we do some interviews. We do interviews from 2 sources. Internal, so high-level executives in the company, and we ask them what are the issues of importance for our business success, okay? And the second source are from external stakeholders. And here we take a panel, and I can tell you in 2013, we had about 50 external stakeholders interviewed, and we asked them to rate these issues in terms of importance to them. And so basically, we obtain a matrix. Here, on the X area, you have those topics that are important for the group strategy, okay? Here, going here, they are highly important, less important for a business strategy. Here, on this axis, you have issues that are important for our stakeholders. Low interest, high interest. And obviously, now, those issues which are important both for our stakeholders and for our business are here in this area. Okay, so basically, 2 years ago, we had those 12 priorities. In violet, you have patient topics that I showed you earlier, ethics, people, and planet. Now, so when it comes to the countries, we have started, so now 1 year ago, for the countries, we have initiated the same method focusing on 2 areas, patients and ethics. And doing this test, a similar test in 5 countries. Okay? So we did not go for planet, we did not go for people, for 2 reasons, actually, is that for planet, I'm working, as I said, for emerging markets, and sometimes, first, we felt it was not at the top of the priorities, and the second thing, it was difficult to find stakeholders in those areas. Here are the results of those materiality tests on the patient area. And here, what you can see in this chart is our external stakeholders' ranking of priorities. We have developed and made in the access to healthcare topics, we have made sub-questions to go more in depth. And you see here, actually, we have done the tests in Russia, India, Turkey, Algeria, Egypt. As you can see, there are big similarities. All said that quality of products on the market is a priority for them. But when you look at India, India is in red here. That was not the main priority. For India, the main priority was access to healthcare for infectious disease, access to healthcare for non-communicable disease. For those who don't know, what we call non-communicable disease are chronic disease, and more specifically cardiovascular disease, diabetes, and oncology, cancer, and chronic respiratory disease. So you can see there are differences between countries. This is why we have to adapt our strategy. So now, looking at this, we had 2 key areas for India. Little bit less of humanitarian emergencies, but here, these are the 2 focus for India.